It's a day of silence for the gay and lesbian community, that the teachers don't talk and the children don't talk, the students. Look it up. It's happening in our schools in Pinellas County. Okay, so John, I just want to say, you said before you want to go back to square one, back to basics. And you also said, you know, what we don't do now, we use all the money now, otherwise we pay later. Well, are you aware that Congress is the one that took the Bible, translated into English to be put in our schools? Our Congress did that. So you said that ship already sailed. If we don't teach our children Christian, Judeo, just values, they don't have to be a Christian, they don't have to be a Jew, in our schools, then we will be paying later. But yet, in the prisons, they allow the Bibles in school and to be taught. And we're paying for those. We're paying for those prisons. So when are we going to stop worrying about the tests and start worrying about teaching respect, just common respect? There's no common respect, not to the teacher. My daughter would come home and tell me how they would just use the F word. She's had a teacher call a student a cracker. I went to the principal, black teacher that taught black history every friggin' month. Okay? Not just 1 month, every month. And she got away with calling a kid a cracker. It seems to be that, like you said, Beverly, that the tail is wagging the dog. And as a mom and just as a citizen, I'm sick of what's going on in our schools. We had to pull my daughter out. We're just, an average middle class, and pay $12,000 a year to put her in private school because our schools are failing. They stink. They cater to the black and the minority, who their parents don't care about their education. We send buses down to their areas. They don't come and see their kids. They don't teach their kids, and yet we keep paying for it. My daughter's an average student, has ADD. There's no help for her. None. Where's the school board when it comes to that? She would tell us that she can't look a black or Hispanic in the eye in the hallways. That's not safe. I mean, these are real issues. I'm not sure that everybody is even concerned about just the day-to-day. Yes, let's all agree that they're over-tested, but there's more than that that's going on, that we need, strong people on the board to say enough is enough. Let's go back to square one. Let's teach these children some kind of values. That's more important than anything. And I agree with you, John, that not every child is a student and is meant to go to college. Anyway, thank you for your time.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for educating us. The second thing is you have a tall order. I have 3 children that graduated from Clearwater High School. Public high school, they all did well. My last one graduated in '95. My grandchildren of my son who graduated from Clearwater High has opted out to homeschool because of safety issues. Okay, my question, because we have so many illegal aliens and children coming across the border, children that are going to be assimilated into all the counties, my question is just for Pinellas County. How is you on the school board going to educate them when they can't understand English? It's going to be a cost, just like what John said. It's going to cost so much more money because now we have to have either translators or we'll have to have a Spanish teacher along with the English teacher.
Is that directed to anyone?
No.
Or
Well, they've got a tall order.
All right, so I can tell you, my wife is a school teacher. She's a school teacher. Oh,
But thanks for your time.
my wife is a school teacher. She's a school teacher at Palm Harbor Middle. She has Arabic students. She has Russian students. She has Polish students. She has non-speaking Spanish students. She has every type of student available. I'm going to take a step back. When I first went to Germany to live with my dad, I wasn't mainstreamed until I learned how to speak German. There's a difference in this country. We embrace everybody. In Germany, they only embrace the German speakers. So if you didn't speak German and you didn't eat liverwurst, you weren't going into school. But I'm kind of making light of this. But we have a culture in the U.S. where we embrace everybody. No, you are not going to get a translator. No, you aren't going to get any special consideration other than that kid's going to be sitting in a classroom next to English-speaking kids and not speak the language. And somebody's going to have to work really, 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 really hard to get them to understand what they need to do. Now, the good news is the majority of the kids coming into the school that are coming from the East Bloc, the former East Bloc countries, Arabia, India, that don't speak the language, they're bringing a culture with them that respects education. Even the Hispanic population brings a culture with them that respects education. So they already have a leg up. What we need to do is we need to figure out how to get the Americans that believe they have a prerogative to a free education, get them back into the classroom, get those parents back into the classroom. Because it's not the immigrants that are necessarily the problem in the school. I don't know, Beverly, if you can speak to that. I can tell you my experience is it's not the immigrants that are coming in that are a problem in the classroom. It's some of the American kids that have a prerogative to this free education, and they don't want to assume the responsibility to learn.
I'm just going to touch on it a little bit. There are programs for the students from other countries. It's ESOL. I had 5 different language-speaking children in my classroom, and they do get assistance from the ESOL. Sad part about it is, and I've also, all teachers in Pinellas County have to have ESOL training. And it's not one-week workshop, it's over 120 hours of ESOL training.
Beverly, explain to them what ESOL
Oh, English
means.
is a secondary language. Sorry.
They're not used to acronyms.
Oh, sorry. But we do have that in place. And what was alluded to before is that one thing I do find that, especially with my Spanish students or any other country other than ours, parents come to the conference and you do have an ESOL teacher in the room to translate for you. But they come to the conference and the child is respectful. They work twice as hard as any other child in my classroom. Sad part is when you get them the last month of school and they're given the state standard testing, which was just the FCAT, and they do not speak a word of English, but they're mandated to take the test, which is, they can't even read one word, but they're mandated to sit in front of a computer and take a test. And there is no assistance for that. So go find the logic to that. And it's wrong. But I will tell you, grading system, I believe it's the first 4 years they're in this country, their grades basically, you can't fail this child. They get passing grades. And I will tell you that almost every foreign student that I have ever had grasp the concepts very quickly. They learn because they work really hard. And by the time they're in middle school, they are speaking English, and they're out surpassing any student in my classroom. So it's not a detriment. It would be bad if they were coming into our system and they were deadbeats in the classroom and discipline issues. I've never had a discipline issue with a Spanish child in my class or the girls from Israel or anywhere that they came from. They're not the discipline. When we got home, because those kids are used to being able to come into a classroom and they know, and a student will tell me, Mama says I don't have to listen to no white woman. Okay? I don't have to listen to no white woman. Okay, what are you going to do to me? Nothing. Okay, promote me because you have to. I don't have to do this work. Yeah. And, oh, well, let me go. Yeah, I get kicked out of school for the day. Oh, I like that. Or we have a behavior specialist, and he goes down to the behavior specialist for the day, and he sits and gets a play day. Those rules need to change. If they remove from the classroom, they need to be disciplined, given work, and made to do it. So we are missing the ball. The problem is with our kids. Not any children from coming from another country. I came here from another country. And I guess that's where I have strong values about my country that I live in today and respect it. And I respect that flag better than most of my students in my classroom. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me.
Any other questions?
That wasn't the answer, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm
My
sorry.
question was going forward. I know we've had a great school system but I'm talking about the ones that are coming now. Who are they?
The illegal invaders that are coming in.
You're referring to the ones like in Texas and all that, right now?
Pasco County?
They
just
haven't
don't-
in Pasco County.
Right.
Still pay for
But
this.
I'm going to come back to what people are talking about, the Common Core. You need to go see the legislature, go see the governor. That's why there are governors in this country, yes, that they've thrown out Common Core, but there are also governors who have said, no one's coming to our state. We're not going to pay for them. So maybe our governor should say the same thing. Okay? Now, I have to go back, and this is going to age me. Back in the day, when living in Massachusetts in the city of Lynn, we used to have evening school for the immigrants because they had to learn English. Okay? So why not go back there? When I was in school, this is again many, many years ago, used to be a notice the day before school started, you know, lunchtime, what time high school started, and so on and so forth. One single statement. Now it's 27. Okay? Now, one of the problems, the city of Lynn was, the mayor was even on TV the other day, or last week, talking about these kids who are coming in. Now, they've been coming into Lynn for over a year. And the question was about the speaking Spanish. And the mayor said, no, they don't speak Spanish or English. They have their own dialect. So now we have to have someone trained in that dialect for those kids. But again, if you think, when they go home, do they speak English at home? No. So that's why we have to get the parents, okay, and train them how to read or talk English. It's the only way it's going to work. But see, to me, I'd stop it right now in the state of Florida. Why let them in? I mean, we have enough problems already. At least I think so. Okay, we don't need to multiply it again.
If they come into our district, we have no choice but to follow the mandated law. Personally, I would like to see our state, and I agree with you 100%, John, make that decision that you're in America, we teach it American, come back when you're a legal citizen and you can understand what we say.
I have a crazy question. I've been listening to many of you. Certain aspects of education seem to be confused with the idea that education is some kind of economic development program, a training program that will give a child a job. Well, I want you to think about what education actually is and who is the education for, and is it for them to use their natural God-given talent through their exposure to education and their love for education to decide what they want to be and when they want to be it, and that they are not all college educable. And college educable today, with a 7th grade reading level under Common Core, leaves little to be desired. And college must be as dumbed down as the education that you're going to be dictating over, okay? Because children today that go to education, college, have to take the remedial math courses, and they can't write and they can't read, and now, thank God, we got penmanship back. So, you know, we need you to fight for us at Tallahassee, okay? I don't care what the law is. The law, number one, is unconstitutional because our education curriculum is not to be dictated by the federal government. So no matter what the law is at the state level, perhaps Pinellas County needs to go to court to change the law because it's unconstitutional. Now, I know the state is its own state and makes its own laws. However, you accepted this program. We are stuck with I'll put it this way, we are stuck with a program that's been dictated to us by the federal government. And it is not for us to comply with. And we should not. Perhaps we'll have to go to jail or whatever, but at least we'll get Bible study. But we should not comply. And if you're going to go up there and sit and think that, well, this is the law is unlawful. We have a lot of laws that are not the law. And I know that Common Core is not the law. And it was put in, don't forget, by an association of governors. It's bull. It's really nothing more than corporate welfare. That is what Common Core is. Corporate welfare for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who, by the way, gave Pinellas County $500,000 recently, and I saw it, or is it $500 million? I don't know how many zeros.